Hey everybody, this is Robert here. Just for a quick reminder, in case I forget to mention it in the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you feel like it, and if you want to, you can follow me for more of this kind of content. And let me know down in the comments below if you want to see more stuff like this, or if you want to have a discussion about it. Alright, back to the video. Hello everybody, what is up, and welcome to what is going to be a bit of a different video from what I normally make. I normally do Let's Plays and stuff like that, and honestly, I would rather be playing Pokemon Violet right now than recording this audio for this video, but I gotta do it. It's gotta be done. I've been talking about it, and so I'm gonna do it. I have to start off this video by giving a warning. I'm going to be talking about certain things that are very sensitive and controversial subjects, and also, yeah, I just gotta warn people that, before you watch this video, I will be talking about things that involve actual real-life crimes, but it doesn't actually apply because it's not real life. I'm talking about an anime in this video. So, the anime I'm going to be talking about in this video is called Mocking Key. I'm actually going to be talking about a very, very specific episode. I mean, I can make a whole entire series talking about the crazy crap that happens and the messed up stuff that happens in Mocking Key, but I'm going to just stick to one episode for now. So, the episode is Season 2, Episode 18, The Begging Teacher. Now, to start off, this episode is really, really bad. I mean, all the episodes are bad, but this one in particular really stood out to me, especially considering all the stuff that's been going on, with P. Diddy and all the other kinds of stuff coming out about groomers and sexual assault allegations and all that against YouTubers and, well, basically just everyone in general, celebrities and politicians alike. Although, well, I'm not going to be talking about that. Anyways, so back to what I was talking about when it comes to the anime Mocking Key. It is a pretty much just smut anime. That's all it is. It's just smut. All it is just to appeal to, horny younger boys. And that's basically it. So every other scene is pretty much like a panty shot. But in this particular episode, I want to go in depth, the kinds of crazy stuff that happens in this video. So anyways, this episode starts off with a absolutely messed up scene with one of the characters in the anime is known as, her name is Aki Nichijo or some shit like that, and basically, she is the school's nurse, so she's also known as Aki-sensei. So, the episode starts off with Aki-sensei and her mom, her supposedly mom. Her mom is, recording her on a camera or something like that, and she's asking her daughter, what she wants to be when she grows up, which is a sweet and innocent question, and, nothing terrible. Aki, it's Aki Nijo. Okay, so she is the school nurse of Timby Academy, which is the school that the main character Takeru goes to. And she's the nurse as well as a member of the group that the main character joins. The main character joins this student council security committee, whatever, under the orders of his childhood friend Haru. Or Haruka. So anyways, this nurse lady is also an advisor for the student security committee. Student council security committee, my bad. Anyways, so what ends up happening is her mom asks her what she wants to be when she grows up, and little kid Aki responds, I want to be a beautiful wife just like you when I grow up, or something like that. But first I have to meet a nice guy like my papa or whatever, something like that. And the mother responds with the most effed up freaking response that anyone could come up with. So she tells her daughter that Oh, okay, here is what it says. Okay, so anyway, so the mother responds that, oh, don't worry, you're going to be getting lots of guys because your breasts are already so large. And, like, what the fuck? What kind of mom talks to their daughter that way? Like, it makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. It's pretty crazy that a mother would say anything like that to their daughter, and it's pretty gross. So then the daughter responds that, oh, well, then I'm going to try and grow my boobies even bigger, or some shiz like that. And, it's such a disgusting scene. Anyways, so flash forward to the future. The, Aki sensei is now an adult, and she's grown to her breasts have grown to absolutely massive proportions, supposedly having a K cup, which is ridiculously huge. Then, she has a phone call with her mom talking about arranging a marriage for her. And so she lies to her mom and says, actually, I have a boyfriend. And of course, the mother's response was Pixar didn't happen, something along those lines. And so at that moment, the main character, Takeru, walks into the nurse's office and he's like bleeding from his skull, because he often gets beat up in this anime. You know, it's one of those types of animes where it's, funny when, funny when the main MC, the male character gets beat the crap out of and nearly killed. So funny. Yeah, of course it wouldn't be so funny if the genders were swapped, but, whatever. So the main character is like bleeding from his skull, and the Aki sensei is like, oh, this is the perfect opportunity. And she takes a picture of herself with the main character and pretty much lies to her mom and says, this is my boyfriend, which is the dumbest fucking ideal you can think of, because he's supposed to be one of your students. So then, like, the very next scene, what happens is the main character ends up being knocked unconscious by like two security guards that have really funny looking hammers. Like, they look like toy hammers or whatever that they're wielding. But I mean, so they knock him unconscious, and then the main character and Aki wake up. The next scene, they wake up in a bed, and for whatever reason, the main character is handcuffed to Aki sensei, and they're like somewhere on a remote island in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it's basically Epstein's Island. So they get Epsteined to this island, and then they go downstairs and find some suitcases with like clothes and stuff like that, and a note from Aki's mom, pretty much telling her like, oh, well, even though you could potentially lose your job over this relationship, I still support you dating a child. I believe Aki is also 28 years old or something like that, and Takeru is only like 15, so this is definitely illegal, even in Japan. Even for Japan standards, this crosses too many lines, and I'm just like, what the fuck, man, this anime is so messed up. So anyways, what happens next is they get a note pretty much saying that they're forced to stay on the island for the next 2 days until the next boat arrives. And Aki sensei says that the handcuffs or whatever, which are like these magical handcuffs that won't come off, and she says because it's her mom's Makin, which is, their special weapons that they use in the show or whatever. It's weird. It's hard to explain. You just have to watch it, or don't watch it, because it's terrible anime. So she can't break the handcuffs because it's her mom's Makin or whatever. Her mom's more powerful than her. So they're forced to be handcuffed together. And, well, the main character just starts off by checking in the fridge to be all like, oh, well, look, there's food. And then the teacher, Aki, pretty much tells Takeru that she needs to go to the bathroom. So he has to go into the bathroom with her while she takes a piss or a dump or whatever, and she's I guess too embarrassed to go like and have him hear her or whatever. So she pretty much is like, you don't you dare look, and then she tells him to start singing because she doesn't want him to hear her. which is ridiculous. And then she just starts like screaming out because she's in so much pain from having to go. Anyway, so that scene was crazy. The next scene that happens afterwards is way more laid back. It's basically just them having dinner. Like Aki Sensei prepares the dinner, they eat, and then the main character is like, okay, I'll do the dishes. And then after that, we get another very, very inappropriate scene where the teacher literally tells Takeru, you have to take a bath. And she speaks to him in a tone that is literally like talking down to a child. You're taking a bath, mister, or whatever. So then, So then Takeru's like, oh, but what are we going to do about, about us being naked together in the bath? So the teacher is like, oh, don't worry, I have a solution to that. And so she has this bathing suit, which is not a bathing suit. It is literally not a bathing suit. It's just thin strips of cloth covering up her nips and her crotch. It is not a bathing suit. So they go into the bath, and oh my gosh, so many things happen. First of all, the sensei, or Aki Sensei, just showers first of all, and then they get into the bath, and she's all moving around, and then she starts literally like rubbing her nipples, or I mean, I guess to wash them or whatever. She like lifts up the little fabric of her swimsuit to rub her hands, and this causes the main character to also touch her jumblies. So the main character starts getting flustered. Then the teacher tells him, oh, you better get out of the bath because you're getting overheated. Well, he was trying to keep his boner down, and he didn't want the teacher to see, or the sensei to see, so he didn't want Aki to see. So then he pretty much is like, nope, I'm good. And then the teacher, Aki Sensei, stands up right in front of him, so he gets a full frontal view of her crotch, and that's when the main character essentially passes out from the blood flowing to his head. I guess both heads. So he passes out in the water, and even though he's like unconscious in the water, the teacher's like, get a hold of yourself. What's the matter? Taki, wake up. And it's like, dude, he's drowning. Save him. So then the next scene, the main character wakes up, and he's laying in bed next to Aki Sensei, obviously, because they're still handcuffed together. But she's somehow, for whatever reason, still wearing her swimsuit, and the main character has been dressed. So then the teacher wakes up, or I mean the sensei wakes up, and explains what happened to the main character, that she, even though she could barely get him to the room and get him changed, and then by the time she got done doing that, she was so exhausted, she just had to pass out. And the main character then realizes that, oh shit, she literally put on my boxers for me, so she saw my thing. And the teacher's like, oh, don't worry, I looked away, or something like that. Don't get me wrong, there are some moments in this episode where the main character does have some good lines that genuinely are, actually good lines and not complete scum, smutty and scummy. And he is really decent towards this teacher, even though he shouldn't be, because she is a predator, like literally. So what ends up happening is the next day they decide to just, go out and, just enjoy the rest of their time on the island. And so they do, and they're like walking along the beach, and the freaking low tide comes up, like a really weak tide, and it scares the sensei, and she's like, oh, well, you saved me, which was the dumbest thing ever. And then for whatever reason it starts raining and thundering, and the teacher again gets scared, and they like sort of hide underneath a tree. But because her shirt got soaked, she gets on the main character for looking at her breasts, although like she was wearing a bra underneath, which honestly I'm kind of surprised they didn't take that scene and make it to where she wasn't wearing a bra. Anyways, so then the main character does kind of like encourage her and talks to her about how every guy in the school admires her and loves her and pretty much wants to be with her. And then she asks him, oh, well, does that include you or something like that? No, the main character hints at that. Hints, yeah, including me or something along those lines. So then it seems like at that moment, the sensei, Aki sensei, was about to do something. It seemed like she was about to just give into her urges at that moment and make out with the main character. But that didn't happen because the very next scene, Haruka, the main character's childhood friend that I had mentioned earlier in this video, and this other girl named Himegami, I can't even say her name right. So Haruka and Himegami show up, and what happens next is freaking mind-blowing. The very next thing that happens is the main character explains the situation, and then when he goes to show Haruka and Himegami the handcuffs that that they've been handcuffed, that they were forced there against their will, and so on and so forth, the handcuffs just happen to be missing. So yeah, I think what ended up happening was the sensei was just lying the whole entire time. She could have broke those handcuffs or took off the handcuffs whenever she wanted to, but she made the whole situation up just so she could spend time with the main character and get her freak on, which this is so inappropriate. Kidnapping a minor, taking him to a resort island, spending a 2-day romantic getaway with him, taking him into the bathroom with you while you take a piss or shit, then taking a bath with him and sleeping together with him in very, very erotic clothing. This teacher needs to get arrested. This character needs to get arrested. If it wasn't for the fact that this is anime and not real life, this would be considered super illegal. She would get fired for sure and placed under arrest. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to talk about this because it's been on my mind and I've been talking about making a video about it, and I could actually go on and on and on. I could talk about a bunch of the other episodes that happen in Mock and Key, but I think I'm just going to stick with this episode for now because this is the biggest crime I think I've ever seen in an anime. I mean, this teacher is a goddamn predator. And not only that, but she lied about the whole situation and throws the main character under the bus. This is straight up just like a predator using somebody and then having them take the blame or whatever, and then, passing the buck off and not receiving any kind of backlash or anything like that. Like at the end of the episode, the female characters are all talking about the sensei and saying how, oh, she's such a great person, yada yada. And in the meantime, she's up in her room sipping tea and looking at the photo of her and Takeru together that she had taken, and saying, oh, now I know what it's like to actually have a boyfriend. And if you look up this character, Aki Sensei, it even says on the fandom page about her that on the wiki about her that her love interest is Takeru. So she's into little boys. Alright, well, I just wanted to talk about this, and I hope you guys are all having a good day, and I don't know what else to say. See you guys next time. Bye.